When I was 14 years old, I took a health education class at my high school, and my teacher completely skipped the sex education curriculum because he assumed that we students understood teen pregnancy prevention and contraceptive methods available to us. When I was 16 years old, my best friend who took that health education class with me was already pregnant. When I was 18 years old, my best friend had chlamydia because she didn't know that it was transmitted through oral sex. When I was 19 years old, I was already sexually active, and I didn't know about the contraceptive methods available to me. In America, there are over 250,000 babies born to women still in high school. In America, only 24 states require comprehensive sex education in public schools, which leaves 27 other states not mandating any form of sex education programs, which means that thousands of high school students are having sex and not protected. I'm confident that you know that teen pregnancy is on the rise and is harmful to a young woman, her baby, and her future decisions. However, I'm not very confident that you know how to solve this problem. Well, I am here today to tell you how we can solve this exact problem in multiple solutions. In this speech, I'm going to discuss with you why I'm so concerned about teen pregnancy and how it is on the rise, and how comprehensive sex education in our public schools is the answer to this problem. My thought pattern for today is problem-solution, and this brings me into my first point. Pregnant teenagers have a higher risk of dropping out of high school and never earning a degree. A 2011 Center for Disease Control and Prevention survey indicated that more than 47% of high school students are having sex. Roughly 1 in 4 women will become pregnant before the age of their 20th birthday, and less than 1 out of 3 women will drop out of high school if they are pregnant. The solution to this problem is to require comprehensive sex education in all of our public schools so that we can educate teenagers on teen pregnancy prevention and contraceptive techniques. Educating teenagers on prevention tips and contraceptive methods will reduce teen pregnancy, and it will inform them on how to stay safe during sex. My second point is that pregnant teenagers have a higher risk of depression, anxiety, suicide, and suicidal attempts. Unplanned, pregnant teens are forced to analyze if their baby is worth the risk of making poor decisions in their life and changing their future. Being pregnant at a young age can definitely trigger symptoms of depression and anxiety. However, there is a solution to this problem, and it is education. Educating our youth on private matters such as sex and contraceptive methods will educate them on how to change their future and make better decisions for themselves. When women learn about their own physiology and psychology before, during, and after pregnancy, this will definitely help their emotional levels if they ever become pregnant, and their hormonal levels as well. We need to educate teenagers on the emotional side to pregnancy, which is something that comprehensive sex education legally does in 24 states. However, we just need 27 more to educate this. There are many side effects, myths, and expectations of being pregnant that so many teenagers miss out on in those 27 states because they don't know. They aren't taught it. They are never educated. If we educated those other 27 states on comprehensive sex education and on teen pregnancy prevention, I promise you that the statistics will go down and more teenagers will be healthy and satisfied in their life and not depressed. My third point is that teen mothers put their life and their baby's life at risk. They also put their future decisions at risk. In the article, The Decline of Teen Marriage is a Serious Problem, Patrick F. Fagan discusses the effects of having a child at a very young age and what this does to a mother and her offspring. He states that teen mothers' new offspring can experience the following: lowered health for newborns, an increased risk of early infant death, an increased risk at retardation and cognitive impairment, lower job attainment, increased behavior problem, and a higher risk of verbal and nonverbal problems. The solution to this problem is to require comprehensive sex education in all public schools so that we can teach high schoolers how to care for children and how to learn the developmental stages of pregnancy and of a child and of their growth. It is very important to educate teenagers on the physical, social, cultural, and psychological effects of being pregnant so that they know what to expect and so that they know that they can prove those myths wrong when they later are pregnant. However, we are talking about teen pregnancy prevention, and this is all something that we do through education. Telling teenagers to stop having sex will not do anything. They need to be educated on how to handle their bodies and how to make healthy decisions before things go wrong. Comprehensive sex education covers pregnancy side effects, physical and developmental changes before, during, and after pregnancy, and the psychological aftermath of pregnancy, which in return can help promote healthy decision making and reduce teen pregnancy and promote safe sex. Now that I've gotten into my 3 main points, I'd like to go over some rebuttals with you. Some argue that America cannot have a federally mandated comprehensive sex education curriculum in public schools due to parental consent. However, 4 states in America have parental consent in their sex education programs, which means that that argument isn't true. Roughly 4 states allow parents to dictate the program, request certain activities that they like involved, and the programs even let parents help teach them. Others argue that religious or spiritual reasons can dictate what a child can and cannot do. Although some religions like Catholicism and other Protestant sectors advocate no sex before marriage, there is a legal separation of church and state that must be followed, and it is protected by our First Amendment in the Constitution. Like I said before in my previous point, telling teenagers to stop having sex doesn't do anything because chances are they are already sexually active. Instead, what we can do is educate them on teen pregnancy prevention and having protected, safe sex while using certain contraceptives that are offered to them. So, as my research shows, it is important for all public schools in America to require comprehensive sex education programs in order to solve the problem. Reduce teen pregnancy risks. There are dangerous physical, social, and psychological effects to pregnancy. So many effects that teenagers don't even know about. In fact, I don't even know about some of them because I never took that health education class when I was 14, like I said in my introduction. There is a high school dropout rate, depression, anxiety, and health complications among pregnant women and their offspring. So, this is my call to action. I ask you, teachers, school administration, parents, and friends, to picture your daughter or your close friend pregnant as a teenager. Look at how they'd be in that situation. Do you think they'd be depressed? Will they be sad? Will they be angry at themselves for making the wrong decision? If you could have prevented that pregnancy and have done something to increase their chances of having a healthy and happier life, what would you have done differently? Thank you.